The spotlight hit him like a thunderclap, and in that split second, Jordan's voice cracked the air, raw, velvet, wrapping around my chest like it knew my secrets before I did. I was just some guy in the back row, clutching a crumpled hymn sheet, heart slamming against my ribs as his eyes, dark, stormy, unapologetic, locked onto mine through the haze of bodies swaying to the melody. Every word he sang felt like a confession aimed straight at me, and damn if it didn't unravel the careful lie I'd been telling myself for years. I'd moved to Seattle 6 months earlier, chasing the ghost of a fresh start after dumping my high school sweetheart back in Boise. Emily had been sweet, steady, the kind of girl who baked pies on Sundays and dreamed of picket fences. But somewhere between her endless wedding Pinterest boards and my late-night scrolls through guys' Instagram profiles, the knot in my gut had tightened into something I couldn't ignore. I wasn't ready to slap a label on it, not yet. Hell, I wasn't even sure what it was. So when a flyer for the Cascade Harmony Choir caught my eye at the corner coffee shop, community voices welcome, no audition needed, I figured why not? Singing had always been my escape, back when Dad's construction shifts left the house echoing with silence and Mom's Parkinson's started stealing her words. A choir full of misfits like me? Sounded harmless. Therapeutic, even. What could go wrong? Rehearsals were held in the basement of First Presbyterian, a creaky old brick building downtown that smelled like polished oak and forgotten potlucks. The first night, I slipped in late, hoodie up against the drizzle, scanning the folding chairs for an empty spot. About 30 faces turned my way, retirees with bifocals, college kids nursing thermoses, a cluster of queer folks in rainbow pins clustered near the front like they owned the place. I wedged into the tenor section, mumbling hellos to a wiry guy named Theo who handed me a folder of scores. New blood. He grinned, his eyeliner smudged just so. You'll fit right in. We're all a little off-key here. Director Marlene, a no-nonsense widow in her 50s with a voice like gravel wrapped in honey, clapped us to order. All right, folks, let's warm up with Shenandoah. Eyes on me. We stumbled through scales, my throat rusty from disuse, but the harmony built like a wave, pulling me under. Then she announced the feature, our lead for the spring concert, a baritone solo on Hallelujah. And that's when Jordan Reyes stepped up to the mic stand. He was impossible to miss, 6 foot something, broad-shouldered but lean, like he'd been carved from the same rain-soaked evergreens that lined the Puget Sound. Dark curls fell over his forehead, and his skin glowed under the fluorescence, a warm olive that spoke of summers in some sun-drenched heritage I could only guess at. He wore a faded flannel over a band tee, sleeves rolled to his elbows, tattoos snaking up his forearms like whispered stories. When he cleared his throat and leaned in, the room hushed, not out of politeness, but because you could feel it coming, that pull. The opening notes from the piano were tentative, a lover's whisper, and then Jordan sang. Well, I heard there was a secret chord. His voice wasn't just good. It was alive, threading through the air like smoke from a hidden fire, each note laced with ache and defiance. I forgot to breathe, forgot the score in my lap. His eyes swept the room, casual at first, then snagged on me, held. Like he'd spotted a crack in my armor and decided to pry it open with lyrics. By the bridge, when he hit that soaring hallelujah, I swear the basement walls trembled. Applause erupted as he finished, but I sat there, palms damp, pulse roaring in my ears. What the hell was that? Afterward, as chairs scraped and voices buzzed, Theo nudged me. That's Jordan, our golden boy, out and proud since he was 16, or so the legend goes. Careful, newbie. He's got a way of making you question your life choices. I laughed it off, too quick, heat creeping up my neck. Just here for the tunes, man. But as I shrugged on my jacket, Jordan was there, towel drying his neck, that half-smile playing on his lips. Hey, saw you zoning out during my set. Hit a nerve. Up close, his eyes were hazel, flecked with gold, and they pinned me like a spotlight. I stammered something about the phrasing, brilliant as always, and he chuckled. Low. Warm, like the song hadn't ended. Alex, right? Marlene mentioned you. Stick around. We've got after-rehearsal coffee at the Beanery. No pressure. I went. Of course I did. The Beanery was a hole in the wall across from the church, strung with fairy lights and posters of folk icons. Our group spilled onto the sidewalk tables, steam rising from mugs as laughter cut through the mist. Jordan slid into the seat next to mine, uninvited but inevitable, passing me a black coffee. Figured you for straight up. No frills. I took it, fingers brushing his. Accidental, electric. Thanks. Yeah, Boise boy. Not much for lattes. We talked easy then, about nothing and everything. His gig as a barista at a queer-owned spot in Capitol Hill, my dead-end gig stocking shelves at the co-op, while I figured out college. He leaned in when he laughed, shoulder bumping mine, and I caught whiffs of his cologne, cedar and citrus, grounding yet dizzying. By the third rehearsal, I'd fallen into a rhythm. Mornings hauling crates, afternoons belting Gershwin till my voice cracked, evenings replaying Jordan's solos in my cramped studio apartment above a laundromat. The whir of dryers below lulled me to sleep, but his voice haunted my dreams. Whispered promises I didn't dare unpack. Theo became my reluctant guide, spilling choir lore over vending machine snacks. Jordan's got baggage, Alex. Ex left him gutted last year. Some finance bro who couldn't handle the spotlight. Now he's all charm, no strings. But you? You're giving off vibes. I waved him off. Vibes? I'm straight, Theo. Engaged once, remember? Lie by omission. Emily and I had fizzled via text, but admitting that felt like admitting more. The group was a mosaic. Lila, the trans soprano with a laugh like wind chimes and a PhD in gender studies. Marcus, the bass who'd fled a cult in Utah and now blasted RuPaul in his Prius. Sarah, a straight ally mom whose kid had come out at 15, fighting school board battles with homemade signs. Prejudices simmered beneath the surface, though whispers from the conservative alums about pushing agendas, Marlene shutting them down with a glare. Jordan navigated it all with grace, but I caught the flicker in his eyes when old Mrs. Hargrove clutched her pearls at his casual babe to Theo. Some folks sing louder with their hate than their hearts, he'd mutter later, over shared fries. One Tuesday, after a brutal run-through of bridge over troubled water, the rain turned biblical. I lingered in the hall, zipping my jacket, when Jordan appeared, keys jingling. Walk you to your bus? Or, my truck's out back. Could drop you. Thunder rumbled, sealing the deal. His pickup was a relic, dented blue Ford with a bumper sticker reading, "Love is love," and the cab smelled like him. That cedar pole. We idled at a red light on Pike Street, wipers slapping rhythm, when he turned. You sing like you've got stories locked up, Alex. What's yours? The question hung, heavy as the downpour. I stared at the dashboard, words tumbling. Just figuring it out. Dad left when I was 10. Mom's fading. Thought singing would fill the quiet. He nodded, no judgment. Mine too. Pops kicked me out at 17 for kissing a boy at prom. Mom sends postcards from Reno, but it's radio silence otherwise. Choir's my family now. Vulnerability cracked between us, the light turning green unnoticed. That night sparked something, a tentative bridge. Rehearsals blurred into hangouts. Trivia nights at the pub where Jordan's trivia mastery earned free wings. Hikes up Discovery Park where he'd belt show tunes off-key to make me snort laugh. Friendship bloomed, easy as Seattle's ferns, but under it, tension coiled. I'd catch myself tracing the line of his jaw during warm-ups, or lingering too long on the way his shirt clung after a sweaty alto riff. He'd text memes at 2 a.m., queer icons roasting straights, and I'd fire back, pulse racing. Was it just bromance? Or the thing I'd buried under flannel and denial? The first crack came at the winter showcase, a packed house in the church sanctuary, poinsettias wilting under the heat lamps. We were midway through "Oh Holy Night," my tenor line weaving with his baritone, when Mrs. Hargrove's son, some red-faced accountant named Greg, leaned over during intermission. Nice voice, kid. He slurred, breath sour with eggnog. But tell your friend Jordan to tone down the fairy dust. This is a family event. I froze, beer halfway to my lips. Jordan, across the room charming donors, didn't hear, but I did. What the hell, man? Greg smirked. Just saying. Not everyone's buying the glitter act. Rage boiled, but before I could swing, Lila materialized, her voice steel. Step off, Greg, or I'll make sure your mom's next donation goes to Lambda Legal. He slunk away, but the poison lingered. Later, in the green room, really just a Sunday school closet, Jordan found me slumped on a folding chair. Heard about Hargrove Jr., you okay? I nodded too fast. Yeah, asshole. He sank beside me, knee brushing mine. Happens. People see what they fear. Our eyes met, and the air thickened, charged like pre-storm static. His hand hovered near my arm, hesitant, inviting. I pulled back, mumbling about needing air, fleeing into the night. In my apartment, staring at the ceiling cracks, truth clawed up. I wasn't straight. Not anymore. And Jordan? He was the mirror I couldn't unsee. Weeks blurred, avoidance my new anthem. I'd arrive late, bolt early, texts going unanswered. Choir fractured without words. Theo shooting worried glances. Marlene pulling me aside after a flat, amazing grace. Alexander, we're a chorus. One voice. Talk to him. But talking meant admitting, and admitting meant unraveling. Then came the email. Spring Gala invite. Black tie fundraiser at the Museum of History. Proceeds for LGBTQ youth shelter. Jordan headlining with a custom set. RSVP by Friday. I almost deleted it. Instead, I showed up to rehearsal with resolve and a six-pack for after. Jordan was there, mid-vocal run, but his eyes flicked to me, guarded. Stranger returns. We muddled through Lean on Me, harmony strained, then cracked open beers in the parking lot. Words spilled, my freakout, Greg's slur, the fear I'd been choking on. I like you, Jordan. More than friends. But I'm terrified. Of me. Of this. He set his bottle down, face softening. Alex, I've been waiting for you to catch up. No rush. But yeah, me too. That kiss, under sodium lamps, rain pattering the truck hood, was tentative, tasting of hops and hope. His lips firm, hands cupping my face like I was fragile art. Fireworks? Nah. More like roots sinking deep, steadying the storm. We pulled apart, foreheads touching, breaths mingling. One step, he whispered. We've got the music for the rest. But stories like ours don't unfold without thorns. Enter Claire, my ex Emily's cousin, visiting from Boise for a tech conference. She'd crashed at my place unannounced, keys I'd stupidly left with family, and woke me with pancakes and prying questions. Heard you're singing with the gays now. Mom says it's a phase. Claire was all polished LinkedIn smiles and microaggressions, oblivious to the poster of Elliot Page on my fridge. When I mentioned the gala, her eyes lit. Ooh, fancy. Take me? For old time's sake. Guilt twisted, Emily's ghost, family ties. I said yes, cursing myself. The night of the gala, the museum glittered, chandeliers dripping light over tuxes and gowns, string quartet bowing Puccini. Jordan in a tailored navy suit, bow tie askew, on the stage with What a Wonderful World, his gaze finding me across the crowd. I clapped loudest, Claire on my arm, her hand possessive. Post-set, he approached, charm dialed high. Alex, you clean up nice. And I introduced her, awkward. Claire, family friend. Her grip tightened. Charmed. Alex has told me all about your little choir. The little landed like grit. Dinner was a minefield. Claire at our table, regaling with Boise anecdotes, each laced with back-home barbs. We don't have all this drama. Just good Christian values. Jordan's jaw ticked, but he smiled through, fork spearing salmon. I excused us for air, dragging him to the balcony overlooking Elliott Bay, fairies twinkling like stars. I'm sorry. She's complicated. He leaned on the rail, wind ruffling his hair. Complicated how? Like, let's experiment with the gay choir boy complicated. Hurt flashed, raw, unguarded. No. God. Jordan, it's not. But he was already walking away, shoulders rigid. The fallout hit like a dropped bass line. Rehearsals turned arctic. He'd nod at my entrances, eyes elsewhere. Theo cornered me post-Ave Maria. Fix it, Alex. He's spiraling. Canceled shifts, ghosting friends. Desperation clawed. I cornered Jordan in the church alley, rain sluicing gutters. Talk to me, please. He stopped, soaked to the skin. You bring your straight date to my big night, after everything? Feels like a joke. Tears mixed with rain on his cheeks. I'm not a phase, Alex. I've been that punchline too many times. I grabbed his hand, desperate. You're not. Claire's nothing, leftover baggage. I choose you. Every damn lyric. He searched my face, walls crumbling. Prove it. I did. Pulling him close, kissing fierce under the deluge, water streaming like absolution. No more hiding. We laughed, breathless, the storm breaking to stars. But prejudices don't dissolve in downpours. Word of the gala scene reached Mrs. Hargrove, who cornered Marlene. That boy's corrupting the choir. Petitions circulated, subtle, signed by alums clutching Bibles. Lila rallied countersigns. Marcus blasted, "Born this way," from his car. Jordan, though, withdrew, doubting us, doubting the space. "Maybe I am the problem," he confessed one night, curled on my couch, head in my lap. Pushing too hard, scaring folks off. I traced his tattoos, roses and thorns, inked after his dad's rejection. "You're the heart of it. They need to catch up." The climax brewed at the dress rehearsal, sanctuary packed for the final run. We launched into seasons of love, voices soaring, when Greg Hargrove burst in, flushed, furious, trailing his mother. "This stops now. My donation's gone if that fag sings lead." Gasps rippled. Jordan faltered mid-note, face ashen. Chaos erupted, shouts, chair scraping. I surged forward, blocking him. "Get out, Greg. Your hate's the discord here." Lila live-streamed, hashtags flying. Sarah dialed lawyers. But Jordan bolted, vanishing into the night. Panic clawed me. I raced to his apartment in Capitol Hill, a walk-up with pride flags in the window, pounding till my fists ached. He opened, eyes red-rimmed, bottle in hand. "Go home, Alex. Told you, I'm poison." Inside, the place was a shrine to resilience. Photos of him at pride marches, sheet music scrawled with affirmations. I knelt before him. "You're not. Remember your mom's postcards? Bloom where you're planted. This choir, us, we're your garden." He broke then, sobs racking, spilling the full wound. His ex hadn't just left. He'd outed Jordan to his job, costing a scholarship. I fight so hard to be seen, but it always circles back. We held each other till dawn, unraveling threads. My closeted Boise years, faking crushes on cheerleaders. His Reno mom, loving but lost to casinos. Dawn brought resolve. We'd face it together. Back at church, the group had rallied. Hargrove's petition shredded, a new donor stepping up. Marlene's speech sealed it. Harmony isn't perfection, it's choosing each other. Greg slunk out, tail between legs. Whispers turned to cheers. The concert night arrived, house lights dimming to thunderous applause. Jordan took the stage, voice steady as steel, and the hallelujah. "I'll stand before the Lord of Song with nothing on my tongue but hallelujah." Eyes on me, unwavering. We nailed the finale. Lean on me. Arms linked in a circle, tears streaming free. Backstage, amid hugs and champagne, Jordan pulled me aside. "You were my bridge, Alex. Over all the troubled water." I kissed him soft, sure. "And you're my song." Months later, summer sun baking the sound. We hiked Rattlesnake Ledge. Theo, Lila, the crew trailing with coolers. Jordan belted off-key atop the ridge, wind whipping, and I joined, voices tangling in the vast blue. Prejudices lingered in the world, sure. Texts from Boise kin, sidelong glances at the co-op. But here, in this chorus of ours, we'd carved a space. Unraveling? Yeah, but into something truer. And every lyric? Still felt meant for me. The hike down was all sweat and stories. Marcus recounting his latest cult recovery podcast episode, while Sarah snapped pics for her ally Instagram. Jordan lagged behind with me, his hand brushing mine in that deliberate accidental way that still sent sparks up my arm. "Ever think we'd get here?" he murmured, gravel crunching under our boots. I glanced back at the group, rainbow bandanas fluttering like flags of truce. From that first hallelujah? Nah, but I'm glad we did. He squeezed my fingers, quick and hidden, but enough to anchor me against the what-ifs whispering from Boise's shadow. Back in the city, life slotted into a new groove. I enrolled at community college, voice performance, of all things, nights spent poring over solfege, while Jordan manned espresso pulls at the Velvet Bean, his shifts overlapping mine at the co-op. We'd steal moments in the alley between buildings, sharing smokes and secrets, his laugh chasing away the chill off the bay. But harmony's fragile. One-off note, and the whole thing wavers. It started with a voicemail from Emily, my ex, the pie-baking ghost. "Alex, Claire told me about everything. Call me. We need to talk." Guilt gnawed. We'd parted messy, her tears over my cold feet, me swallowing the truth like bad coffee. I didn't call back right away. Instead, I buried it in rehearsals, our spring tour looming. A string of gigs from Tacoma to Bellingham, fundraisers for the shelter. Jordan thrived under the lights, his solos drawing standing O's. But off stage, shadows crept. Late one night, post-gig in a Polsbo dive, he slumped in the motel bed, staring at the ceiling fan's lazy spin. Ever feel like you're waiting for the other shoe? Like this? Us. It's too good, so it must drop. I propped on an elbow, tracing the scar on his knuckle from a bar fight in his wilder days. Shoes dropped plenty. We're still standing. He turned, eyes searching. Promise. The kiss that followed was fierce, needy, but morning brought distance. His phone buzzing with a blocked number, face tightening. Theo clued me in over lunch at the Beanery, his nails painted electric blue. Jordan's ex, Derek, the finance douche. Been texting, showing up at the cafe. Wants closure, my ass. Rage simmered. I'd pieced the story from fragments. Derek, golden boy banker, who'd charmed Jordan at a Pride after-party, then bailed when the optics soured, leaking rumors to Jordan's conservative extended fam in Tacoma. He's poison, Theo spat, stirring his matcha. But Jord's got that savior complex. Thinks he can fix what he broke. I nodded, fork stabbing salad. I'll talk to him. But doubt wormed in. Was I just the rebound? The safe harbor till the storm passed? The confrontation brewed during a layover in Everett, rain lashing the tour bus windows as we idled at a rest stop. Jordan stepped out for air, but I followed, catching him by the chain-link fence, phone in hand. It's him, isn't it? The screen glowed. Derek's name. A string of pleas. Miss you. Let's talk. I deserve a chance to explain. Jordan pocketed it, jaw set. It's nothing. Old noise. But his voice cracked, and I pressed. Noise that has you pulling away? From me? He whirled, hazel eyes flashing. You don't get it, Alex. You dipped a toe in. I've been swimming laps my whole life. Derek. He was my first real shot at normal. And he torched it. Wind howled, mirroring the ache in his words. What if I torch you too? I grabbed his arms, grounding us both. You're not a torch, Jordan. You're the damn fire. Warm, not burning. Derek's the ash. He searched my face, walls teetering, then crashed into me. Hug bone-crushing, breath hitching. Scared shitless of losing this. We stood there, soaked and swaying, till the driver honked. That night, in the bunk's dim sway, he whispered the full ugly. Derek's gaslighting, the forced outing, the ER visit after a blackout bender. I sang through it all, but some notes stick. I held them tighter. We'll harmonize them out. Tour wrapped triumphant, Bellingham's crowd chanting encores, but home brought Claire's shadow. She'd emailed, visiting again. Family dinner? Emily insists. The old knot twisted. Emily, post-breakup, had spiraled into therapy speak, blaming my identity crisis for our split. Claire, her mouthpiece, now played concerned cousin. I confided in Sarah over coffee, her mom wisdom steady. Boundaries, honey. You're not Boise's Alex anymore. Jordan, overhearing at pickup, went quiet. Family's loaded dice. Want me there? I nodded, grateful. Dinner was at a waterfront bistro, crab cakes and harbor views masking the tension. Emily arrived, blonde waves tamed, smile brittle. Alex, you look happy. Claire hovered, pouring wine. So choir life's treating you? Heard it's quite the scene. Subtext dripped, judgment in every sip. Jordan, beside me, charmed easy, stories of tour mishaps, his barista hacks. But when Emily cornered me in the ladies, wait, no, the patio, her voice cracked. Is this real? Or just running from us? Tears welled, guilt stabbed. It's real, Em. For me. She hugged quick, whispering, be safe. I still care. Claire, though, lingered like smoke. Post-meal, as we walked to the car, she pulled Jordan aside, voices low, her hand on his arm. I caught fragments. Watch out for him. He's confused. Jordan stiffened, pulling free. He's not confused. That's your projection. In the truck, silence thrummed. What did she say? He gripped the wheel. Tried the protector act. Like I'm the villain leading you astray. Anger flared. For her, for the echo of every Hargrove. She's wrong. Full stop. But seeds of doubt sprouted. Days later, a package arrived at my door. Emily's, forwarded from Boise. Inside, our old photo album, dog-eared pics of prom, road trips, her note. Remember who you were. Jordan found me flipping pages, eyes distant. Nostalgia trap? I closed it, throat tight. More like chains. He sat beside me, thumb brushing my wrist. We break him together. But that night, alone, I dreamed of fences, white pickets closing in, Jordan fading to shadow. The real storm hit at Pride. Seattle's streets a riot of color, bass thumping from floats, air thick with glitter and grilled sausages. Our choir had a slot on the main stage, Jordan emceeing with Lila, their banter crackling over mics. I sang backup, heart swelling at the sea of flags, trans stripes, by hearts, the works. But midway through True Colors, my phone buzzed. Claire, texting a link. A Boise News clip, local pastor railing against urban perversions. Emily's face blurred in the crowd, sign reading Pray for Alex. Rage iced my veins. She'd outed my turmoil to the congregation. I bolted backstage, breath ragged. Jordan found me, mid-set break, concern etching his brow. Babe? What's wrong? I shoved the phone at him, words tumbling. They know. Emily. She told them. His face darkened, not anger, but that old wariness. And I paced, frantic. What if they come here? Drag me back. He stepped close, hands framing my face. They won't. But, are you regretting this? Us. The question hung, a precipice. Doubt flickered, Boise's pull, the safety of denial. No. I lied, then corrected. I mean scared. But not of you. He pulled back, hurt flashing. Scared's half the battle. But if you're looking back. The set call cut him off, but the rift lingered. Pride blurred. Cheers deafening. But my harmony faltered, notes flat. Post-parade, at the after-party in a warehouse loft, he vanished into the crowd. Theo found me nursing a seltzer. Give him space. Old wounds reopening. I nodded, but guilt churned. By midnight, Jordan texted, meet me at the pier. The waterfront was quiet, fog rolling in like a shroud. He waited on the dock, silhouette against black water, seagulls wheeling. Needed air. We sat on the edge, feet dangling, city hum distant. Claire's poison, he started. Echoes Derek. I'll save you from this life. I winced. Em's not like that. Just. Lost. He turned, eyes fierce. But her doubt's in you now. I see it. Truth landed like a slap. Maybe. But you're my forward. He leaned in, forehead to mine. Then let's rewrite the score. No looking back. Dawn broke clear, and we walked home hand in hand. First public grip, defiant. But Claire wasn't done. She showed up at rehearsal, uninvited, Emily in tow via video call on her phone. We came to support, she cooed, but eyes darted to Jordan like he was the devil's fiddler. Marlene welcomed them coolly. We launched into defying gravity, my voice soaring freer. Post-break, Claire cornered me. He's changing you. That tattoo? The piercings? Not our Alex. I laughed, bitter. Your Alex was caged. This one's flying. The explosion came during cool down. Greg Hargrove, of all ghosts, sauntering in with Claire on his arm. Small world, cruel joke. Heard about the family prodigal, he sneered. Backsliding with the choir queers. Jordan tensed beside me, Lila's fists clenched. But I stepped up, voice steady. Out. All of you. This isn't your stage. Chaos erupted. Shouts, Sarah herding them toward the door. Jordan grabbed my hand, squeezing. My hero. In the aftermath, as Marlene locked up, Emily's call buzzed again. I'm sorry. Claire. She twisted it. I just wanted you home. Tears choked me. Home's here, Em. With them. With him. Healing wasn't linear. Jordan and I dove into therapy, group sessions at the center, unpacking closets and kick-outs. I got a tattoo, subtle treble clef on my rib, his initial woven in. He wrote a song, Echo Bridge, debuted at an open mic. Lyrics of fractures mending, voices overlapping. Friendships deepened. Theo officiating our not wedding, picnic vow, Lila schooling us on intersectional allyship. Prejudices popped up, co-op managers side-eyeing our lunches, a Boise letter disowning. But each one we faced tandem, stronger. One crisp fall evening, post-rehearsal, Jordan drove us to Golden Gardens. Beach bonfire crackling, waves lapping. He pulled a thermos of spiked cider, settling against me. A year ago, I sang to a stranger. Now, I kissed his temple. Now you sing to your duet. Stars wheeled overhead, our voices humming an old spiritual, soft, sure. The world still hummed its biases, but But in our chorus, love drowned them out. And every lyric? Yeah, still meant for me. Winter crept in on salt-laced winds, frosting the church windows with fern patterns that mimicked the tattoos on Jordan's arms. Our choir had swelled. New faces from the shelter kids we'd fundraised for, their tentative altos blending with our veterans like fresh ink on old parchment. I thrived in it, my confidence blooming under Marlene's baton, but the real growth happened off stage, in the quiet negotiations of us. Jordan's shifts at the Velvet Bean stretched late, so I'd crash there after closing, perched on a stool while he frothed milks and frothed tempers with rude Karens. Another rainbow latte for the skeptic, he'd quip, drawing a tiny flag in the foam for me. Those nights, wiping counters side by side, felt like marriage prep, mundane magic. But Boise's echo refused to fade. Emily's calls dwindled to holiday cards, stiff, scented with lavender, her cursive looping around platitudes. Wishing you joy in your journey. Claire, though, escalated. Emails laced with concerned articles on lifestyle regrets, forwarded sermons decrying the gay agenda in arts. I blocked her, but the barbs lodged like splinters. One blustery December eve, post-Carol of the Bells run-through, Jordan found me in the vestibule, staring at a forwarded chain from Mom. Her shaky script. Heard from Emily. Praying for your soul, son. Love always. His arms wrapped from behind, chin on my shoulder. The Prodigal remix? I leaned back, heavy. Feels like judgment wrapped in yarn. We drove to his place, heater blasting, Al Green crooning low. Over ramen, his specialty, spicy with sriracha tears, he coaxed it out. Mom's Parkinson's makes her clingy. Church is her anchor now. He nodded, slurping noodles. Mine's the opposite. Dad's anchor dragged me under. But families evolve, or they don't. Vulnerability hung. I kissed his broth-smeared lip. Ours will. But doubt niggled. Would it? Or was I dragging him into my mess? The holiday showcase loomed. A joint gig with a Tacoma ensemble. Big venue. Sold-out buzz. Jordan was slotted for a duet with me. The prayer. Our voices twining in supplication. Rehearsals crackled with chemistry, his baritone grounding my tenor like roots to sky. But tension simmered. Theo whispered of Derek's sightings. Lurking outside the cafe, accidental run-ins at the gym. He's circling, Theo warned, over eggnog at the potluck. George's too nice to block. I confronted him that night, tangled in sheets, city lights striping the bed. Why let him haunt? Jordan sighed, tracing my collarbone. Closure, maybe. Or masochism. His laugh was hollow. What if he apologizes? Does it erase the scar? Before I could answer, my phone lit. Unknown number. Alex? It's Derek. Voice smooth as oiled lies. Heard you're with Jordan. Congrats. But, can we talk? For his sake. Rage boiled. I hung up, blocking. Jordan stirred. Who? Lie slipped easy. Wrong number. But guilt festered, a silent third in our bed. Showcase night glittered, red bows on pews, poinsettia wreaths scenting the air like spiced wine. Backstage buzzed. Lila adjusted my bow tie. Marcus hyped us with fist bumps. Jordan shone, tucks sharp, curls tamed, eyes locking mine pre-duet. The intro swelled, piano cascading, and we stepped forward. I pray you'll be our eyes. Our voices merged, pure ache. His depth lifting my lift, the crowd hushed. Mid-bridge, his hand found mine off mic, squeeze electric. Applause crashed like waves. Encores begged, but we bowed out, breathless. Reception swirled, eggnog toasts, donors mingling. I lost Jordan in the throng, resurfacing near the coat check with Derek, tall, pressed khakis, that banker smile. Alex, nice set. Venom curled my tongue. What the fuck are you doing here? He leaned in, cologne cloying. Supporting. Jordan invited me. Lie? Truth? Panic spiked. Across the room, Jordan chatted alums, oblivious. I dragged Derek to the hall. Stay away. You're done. His eyes narrowed. He's mine to fix. You? You're the fling. I shoved him. Hard. Suit rumpling. Security materializing as shouts echoed. Jordan found us post-eviction, my knuckles smarting. What happened? Truth tumbled. The call. The block. The confrontation. His face crumpled. Betrayal. Then steel. You should have told me. We fled to the truck, engine roaring into the night. He crashed your piece. I choked. Jordan gripped the dash. No, your silence did. Trust, Alex. That's the chord. Silence stretched to my apartment, where he grabbed his keys. Need space. Door clicked shut, echoing like a dropped mic. Days blurred gray. Rehearsals? I skipped, claiming flu. Theo texted check-ins. Lila dropped soup with notes. Lean on us. Jordan went radio silent, his cafe shifts covered by floats. Desperation peaked New Year's Eve, fireworks popping over the bay, my solo toast bitter. I drove to his building, buzzer ignored, camping on stoop till a neighbor took pity. Inside, the loft was dim, sheet music scattered, pride flag limp. He opened in sweats, eyes hollow. Go home. I didn't. Can't. You're my home. Words poured. Fears of failing him, Boise's chains, the shove as love's clumsy shield. He listened, then pulled me in, hug fierce, tears salting skin. We're both messes. But together? Symphony. Reconciliation was slow burn. Coffee dates dissecting Derek's texts, blocked in mass. Therapy doubles where we map triggers like corral parts. Mom's next card came softer. Saw your video. Proud, son. Include me? Jordan's response. Postcards from Reno. Mom's sighting at a casino. Tell your boy I said hi. Progress, pixel by pixel. Spring thawed us. I inked a second tattoo, thorned rose matching his, and we co-wrote a piece for the concert. Unbroken line. Lyrics of fractures forging strength. But Claire's final gambit lurked. She emailed, intervention. Emily's flying in. Family matters. Dread coiled. I showed Jordan, his jaw ticking. Your call. But I'm all in. We prepped. Role-play rebuttals. Ally backups on speed dial. The intervention was a sterile hotel lounge. Claire presiding like a judge, Emily fidgeting, a pastor uncle looming. We've prayed, Claire intoned. This phase, it's hurt you, Alex. Jordan, beside me, hand under table, squeezed. I breathed deep. Not a phase. My truth. And Jordan? He's family now. Emily teared up. I just miss you. Hug followed. Real, releasing. Uncle grumbled prayers. Claire seethed. But as we left, Emily whispered to Jordan, take care of him. Victory, bittersweet. Concert season peaked triumphant. Our unbroken line, ovation standing, shelter kids beaming back up. Post-bow, Jordan pulled me on stage shadows. Every lyric? For us. Kiss sealed it. Public, unapologetic. Prejudices? They whispered still. Uncle's boycott, co-op gossip. But our chorus drowned them, voices rising. Summer hummed onward, hikes turning to road trips, Oregon coast, bonfires and busking. One dusk, waves crashing, Jordan knelt in sand. Marry me? Not legal yet, but. Ring simple, silver band etched with notes. Tears blurred. Yes, all the yes. Friends hooped from afar, stars approved. A year folded into two. Our wedding small. Capitol Hill rooftop, choir serenading vows. Mom wheeled in. Beaming. Emily toasted, Claire absent. Derek? A footnote, faded. Life layered on. My degree, his album demo. Adoptions whispered for someday. Misunderstandings mended, prejudices chipped away. Love? The deepest drama, sung true. The rooftop ceremony blurred into a haze of laughter and lavender. Lila's bouquet toss turning into a conga line. Marcus DJing a mashup of Chapel of Love and Single Ladies. Jordan and I slipped away mid-revelry, descending to the street where his truck waited, fairy lights strung in the bed like captured stars. We drove aimless, windows down, city pulse syncing with our own, his hand on my thigh, thumb tracing lazy circles. Husband, he tested, grin splitting. I echoed it, the word foreign yet fitted, like a harmony I'd always known but never voiced. That night, in our new apartment, merged lofts, sheet music carpeting floors, we danced slow to phantom violins, bodies remembering what words couldn't hold. Marriage wasn't fireworks eternal, it was the daily duet. Compromises on grocery lists, his kale obsession versus my tater-tot defense, late-night harmonies over takeout when gigs ran long. I landed adjunct hours at the college, coaching vocal ensembles, while Jordan's album caught indie buzz, a track licensing for a Netflix doc on queer artists. Fame's whisper brought old ghosts rattling. Derek's congrats DM, blocked swift. Boise relatives RSVPing no to the save the date with Bible verses attached. Mom, though, evolved, visiting quarterly, her wheelchair gliding through rehearsals, voice frail but clapping fierce. You too shine, Alex. Her pride? Priceless counterpoint. But tension threaded back in autumn, with the choir's big commission, a choral opera on Stonewall, Marlene tapping Jordan and me for leads. Rehearsals intensified, egos clashing in the bass section over dynamics, alums grumbling about political themes. Lila thrived, her soprano cutting like Justice. Theo, now directing a youth ensemble, brought kids whose raw testimonies fueled the score. Offstage, though, Jordan withdrew, studio sessions bleeding into dawn, his smiles thinner. Just pressure, he'd say, collapsing beside me. But I knew the haunt. Derek's shadow, morphed into industry whispers. Is he stable? That ex-drama. The breaking point cracked during a table read, sanctuary thick with script pages and coffee steam. Jordan's character, based loosely on Marsha P. Johnson, demanded vulnerability, monologues of rejection, rage, reclamation. He nailed it, voice breaking authentic. But post-scene, he bolted to the green room, breaths ragged. I followed, door clicking shut. Talk. He paced, hands raking curls. It's me, digging up this, for everyone, when I can't even bury my own shit. I pulled him down, knees to linoleum. Stonewall wasn't buried. It burned through. He met my eyes, raw. What if I burn out? Promise from New Year's echoed. We fan each other. Therapy doubled down. Couple sessions unpacking performance anxiety, my codependent fixer bent. Progress showed. Jordan demoing tracks for me pre-release, me guesting lectures on queer vocal history. But Claire's sabotage slithered in. A concerned letter to Marlene, anonymous but scented with her perfume. The Reyes boys' instability threatens the choir's reputation. Marlene shredded it, but poison spread. Whispers in the alto row, a donor pulling funds. I confronted Claire via call, Jordan listening on speaker. Why? We're happy. Her voice dripped saccharine. Saving you from scandal. Emily agrees. Lie. Em had texted support post-wedding. Leave us be. Click. Fallout lingered. Jordan spiraled, canceling a promo spot. I rallied the crew, impromptu jam at the Velvet Bean, voices chasing shadows. You're our lead, Sarah toasted. Offstage 2. Opera week dawned electric. Tech runs frantic, costumes itching with history. Opening night, house packed, air humming anticipation. Jordan's entrance, drag glam, voice thundering, rise up, Drew gasps, then roars. Our duet, lovers in riot, wove ache and fire, my tenor pleading, his baritone rebuking. Curtain fell to ovation thunderous, critics buzzing. Backstage, he crushed me in silk and sweat. We did it. But Derek lurked in the lobby, ticket clutched, eyes hungry. Beautiful. Can we? Jordan froze. I stepped forward. No. We're done choruses. Post-show party pulsed at a hill club. Neon rainbows, bass vibrating bones. Jordan danced fierce, pulling me close, but midway, he slipped to the alley for air. I found him retching into a dumpster, Derek's card crumpled in his fist, slipped by a waiter, please scrawled, 1 coffee. For old times. How'd he even? Jordan wiped his mouth, trembling. Doesn't matter. I'm over it. But eyes betrayed, crack in the armor. We drove home silent, city streaks blurring. In bed, he curled small. What if he wins? Pulls me back. I held him, heartbeat to heartbeat. He can't. You're the story now ours. Dawn brought purge. Bonfire at the beach. Derek's card fueling flames with effigies of doubt. Smoke curled prayers. Waves approved. Album dropped to acclaim. Echo Bridge. Topping queer playlists. Interviews where Jordan named me co-writer, unashamed. Boise softened further. Uncle's apology letter, stiff but sincere. Mom's first pride pin, gifted shy. Claire? Faded to footnotes, her interventions ignored. Winter Gala circled back, our first as husbands, headlining with opera cuts. Crowd swelled, donors doubled. No Gregs, no Claires, just allies raising glasses to resilience. Jordan's toast. To the unbroken lines we sing. Mine, whispered later. To every lyric, meant for you. Spring bloomed collaborations. I co-producing his next, him guesting my classes. Choir evolved. Youth program thriving, prejudices peeled like old paint. One muggy July, post-rehearsal picnic in Discovery Park, Jordan knelt again, this time with adoption papers. Family expansion? Tears yes, dreams yes. Life layered symphonies, conflicts resolved in counterpoint, love the enduring theme. Adoption classes started in a strip mall community center, fluorescents buzzing over folding tables, foster parents swapping war stories like sheet music swaps. Jordan and I sat front row, notebooks open, his knee jiggling under the laminate. Think we'll pass the home study, he muttered, doodling treble clefs in the margin. The facilitator, a no-nonsense Latina mom of 4, eyed us warm. You too? With that harmony? Kids lead it up. But doubt danced in my gut, Boise's old script. Not stable enough for roots. Jordan sensed it, squeezing my hand under the table. We've got the score. Improv the rest. Home stretched to fit the dream. Our loft now a nursery blueprint. Walls primed for murals of musical notes and rainbows. Rehearsals adapted. Marlene subbing my leads as fatigue hit from class marathons. Choir buzz supportive. Lila crocheting blankets. Theo plotting uncle pranks. But external notes soured. Estate social workers raised brow at our non-traditional union during intake. We'll need extra refs, she noted, tone neutral but edged. Jordan bristled post-meeting, over foe in the international district. Like we're exhibits, not parents. I nodded, chopsticks pausing. Walloutsing M. The real discord hit with the matching call. A sibling pair, ages 5 and 7, histories nodded with neglect. Boy, Kai, shy with saucer eyes and a stutter. Girl, Mia, fierce braids and a glare that could curdle milk. First visit at the agency playroom. Blocks scattered, air thick with crayons. Kai hid behind Mia, peeking at Jordan's tattoos like forbidden maps. Cool, he whispered, stutter softening. Mia crossed arms. You gay? Blunt as a downbeat. Jordan knelt, eye level. Yup, and married. To him. He nodded at me. She squinted. Prove it. Laugh escaped. We did, pulling wedding pics on phone. Their giggles the sweetest harmony. Home trial week 1 was cacophony. Kai's night terrors shrieking chorales at 3 a.m., Mia's tantrums toppling block towers. Jordan thrived, bedtime stories and baritone lullabies. I faltered, work calls clashing with school runs. One meltdown evening, Mia hurled a plate. You don't want us. Shards skittered. Jordan swept her up, calm as a fermata. We do. Messy and all.